Look at you. You're sitting there, convinced you're a perfectly normal, rational human being. You pay your taxes, you remember your partner's birthday, mostly. You think you have perspective. But then, Saturday comes, and for 90 minutes, plus an agonising, undefinable amount of stoppage time, you transform. You become a screaming, superstitious, tribalistic mess of raw nerves and questionable life choices. All because 11 people you've never met are trying to kick a ball into a net better than 11 other people you've never met. Football isn't just a sport, it's a personality test you never asked to take. And trust me, you all fit into a category. You might think you're a unique, complex supporter, but you're probably just a classic archetype wearing a different scarf. Today, we're holding up a mirror. This is the 10 types of football fan. Let's find out which one you are. 1. The Tactician. It's not a 4-4-2, it's a 4-2-2-2 double pivot. Oh, you're smart. You're not here for the goals, the drama, or the passion. No, you're here for the geopolitics of the halfway line. You don't just watch a match, you consume it. While your mates are screaming, "Shoot!" you're quietly muttering to the TV. No, see, the right back is inverted, which is isolating the mezzala and preventing the progressive overload on the weak side. It's so obvious. This fan doesn't just watch football, they study it. They have a whiteboard. I'm not kidding. They probably have little magnetic player markers. They use terms like gegenpressing, sarri ball, and positional play in casual conversation. They genuinely got excited when Brighton appointed Roberto De Zerbi, not because of the football, but because of the implications for the low-block pressing structure in the Premier League. To the Tactician, a 0-0 draw isn't boring. It's a fascinating defensive chess match. A 4-3 thriller is absolute chaos, just no structure. Frankly embarrassing. They judge players not on goals, but on movements. They'll defend a striker who hasn't scored since 2023 because his off-the-ball running creates the space for the system to function. They worship managers like Pep Guardiola, Marcelo Bielsa, and Ruben Amorim, not as coaches, but as philosophers. They've read Inverting the Pyramid twice and have very strong opinions on Arrigo Sacchi's Milan. The worst thing you can say to them? Who cares? They won. They will physically recoil, because it's not about winning. It's about winning the right way, which is, coincidentally, always the most complicated way possible. They are insufferable to watch a game with, but they are almost always right, and that somehow makes it even worse. 2. The Nostalgist. It was better in my day. The Nostalgist. This fan doesn't just watch football, they watch memories. They are the undisputed king of the pub argument, armed with one unassailable weapon. The game's gone. Gone where? They never say. It's just gone. To the Nostalgist, football peaked at a very specific, unprovable moment in time. Usually it's 1998, or maybe 1990 when the pitches were 80% mud, and a slide tackle was just a friendly way of saying hello with your studs. They'll tell you with a tear in their eye about players who really cared, who would have died for the shirt, unlike these modern, tattooed, social media-obsessed prima donnas. This fan despises VAR, not just because it's slow, but because it's clinical. They miss the days of the blatant handball, the offside goal that stood, the career-ending tackle that the ref let go. That wasn't injustice, that was character. They'll tell you diving wasn't a problem until foreigners arrived, conveniently forgetting that players from their own nation have been tumbling over invisible pebbles since the 70s. Their favourite player is always a hard man. A Roy Keane, a Vinnie Jones, a Jaap Stam. Someone who looked like they'd just finished a 12-hour shift at a brick factory and was only playing football to vent some aggression before heading to the pub. They'll look at a modern, technically gifted athletic specimen like Kylian Mbappe and say, "Yeah, but could he do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke?" Everything new is bad. New stadiums, soulless bowls, new kits, polyester nightmares, give me the heavy cotton ones. New tactics. Just pass and move, son, it's not complicated. They're a walking, sighing monument to a past that was, by every objective metric, slower, dirtier and less skilled. But damn, if they don't make you wish you'd been there to see it. 3. The financial analyst, the what's his amortized value. This fan hasn't enjoyed a goal since 2015. Why? Because the instant the ball hits the net, they're not celebrating, they're calculating. They're thinking, great, that's another $5 million on his transfer value and probably adds a $50,000 a week bonus to his contract renewal, which is going to absolutely ruin our wage structure and jeopardise the FFP, financial fair play, commitments. The The financial analyst doesn't support a football club. They are an unpaid, deeply stressed out board member for a medium-sized enterprise. They know nothing about tactics and everything about amortization. They can't tell you what a register does, but they can give you a 40-minute lecture on how Barcelona activated 6 economic levers in the summer of 2022, and why it was both genius and catastrophic. They don't get excited about transfer rumours, they get anxious. When their club is linked with a star player, their first thought isn't, "He'd be amazing for us." It's, "Can we afford his wages? What's the sell-on clause? Is his image rights deal separate from the main contract? I just don't see how this is sustainable." They spend their summers buried in spreadsheets, tracking net spend, and arguing with rival financial analysts on Twitter about whose club has the more responsible debt ratio. For this fan, the Big Six isn't about trophies, it's about the Deloitte Money League. The Champions League isn't about glory, it's about the 100 million in broadcast revenue and prize money. They genuinely believe the best signing of the season wasn't a player, but a new commercial director who secured a record-breaking sleeve sponsorship deal. They are the death of joy. But in an era where entire clubs can vanish over a bad balance sheet, they might also be the only sane ones left. 4. The superstitious one, the "if I move, we lose." You know who you are. Your rational brain, the one that does your job and remembers to buy milk, knows that you, a single person, thousands of miles from the stadium watching on a slightly delayed illegal stream, cannot influence the outcome of the game. But your football brain? Your football brain is a terrified, primitive cave dweller, and it knows that the only reason your team is holding on to a 1-0 lead is because you haven't washed your lucky shirt since September. You're sitting in the exact indentation on your sofa that you sat in during the last win, and you're only drinking from the 2018 World Cup promotional mug. This fan lives in a prison of their own creation. Their matchday experience isn't fun, it's a high-stakes ritual. They can't go to the bathroom during a second-half press. If they get a text, they can't check it until halftime, just in case that person is bad luck. If a friend, a perfectly nice normal friend, comes over to watch and the team concedes, that friend is never ever invited back. They are a jinx, they are a curse, and frankly you blame them for the entire result. This fan is a walking bundle of arbitrary rules. They haven't won a single game where I've eaten nachos. I have to stand for all corners. If I say the score out loud, the other team will equalise. They aren't watching the game. They are in a 90-minute magical battle with the universe, single-handedly trying to ward off the dark forces of a last-minute equaliser. It's a life of pure, unadulterated anxiety. Because when the team wins, it's relief. But when they lose, it's all your fault. You knew you shouldn't have worn the blue socks. You knew it. 5. The Stato, the XG worshipper. Sure, he scored a hat-trick, but his XG for the match was only 0.8. He's overperforming. It's not sustainable. Welcome to the world of the Stato. This fan has successfully removed 100% of the joy, passion, and unpredictable chaos from football and replaced it with a spreadsheet. They don't watch the game with their eyes. They watch it through a live feed of data points. They don't cheer for goals. They nod approvingly when a high percentage shot from inside the 6-yard box finds the net. Good process, they'll mutter. The Stato's mortal enemy is the eye test. You'll say, that new winger looked amazing, he was everywhere. And the Stato will sigh, pull up a graph on their phone and say, actually, his progressive carry numbers are in the 34th percentile, his defensive work rate is non-existent, and he only completed 1 pass into the final third. He's a liability. They worship XG, expected goals, as a holy text. A 1-0 win where you lost the XG battle, 2.1 to 0.3, isn't a win at all. It's a disgraceful, lucky escape, and the manager should be sacked for promoting such low-quality chances. Conversely, a 0-2 loss where you won the XG 3.4 to 0.5 is one of the best performances of the season. The process is working, and the results will come. They never do. This fan has fundamentally misunderstood the entire point of sports, which is that logic can, and should, be set on fire by a 35-yard screamer that had an XG of 0.01. They hate magic. They hate variance. They hate joy. They are the human equivalent of a goalless draw, and they are here to prove to you, with numbers, why you are wrong to be happy. 6. The conspiracy theorist, the it's all fixed. For this fan, football isn't a sport, it's a script, and it's a badly written script full of plot holes, obvious villains, and a corrupt cabal of producers, writers, and actors, all working against one person: them. The conspiracy theorist is incapable of accepting a simple loss. A loss is never just, the other team was better. Oh no! A loss is a preordained event, meticulously planned in a shadowy, smoke-filled room by the powers that be. Who are they? It's always a vague, sinister mix. The FA, UEFA, the PGMOL, the refereeing body, the broadcasters who need a big club in the final, and of course that referee who has a clear agenda against your club, probably because his cousin's best friend once got food poisoning in your city in 1997. This fan is a forensic investigator of injustice. They don't just rewatch a bad tackle, they slow it down to 0.25x speed, circle the referee's eyeline with a red digital marker, and post it online with the caption, "He saw it, he was looking right at it, tell me this isn't corrupt." They're obsessed with narratives. If their relegation battling team suddenly goes on a winning run, it's not good coaching. It's because the league needs them to stay up for the broadcast deal. If a big club gets a penalty, it's the narrative, protecting the brand. They are the only ones who see the truth. VAR isn't incompetent, it's malicious. The lines aren't just drawn wrong, they are digitally manipulated to favour the opponent. That deflected goal? Geometrically suspicious. They live in a constant state of persecution, convinced the entire multi-billion-dollar global sport has mobilised its vast resources for the singular purpose of making their life miserable on a Tuesday night. It's almost impressive, really. The sheer, magnificent paranoid ego of it all. 7. The journeyman, the I just like football. Wait, what's this? A fan who isn't miserable? A fan who doesn't have a spreadsheet, a lucky pair of socks, or a tinfoil hat? Meet the journeyman. This fan is the rarest, most mythical creature in the entire footballing ecosystem. They are the neutral. They just like football. This person is a psychic vampire to every other fan on this list. Why? Because they are immune to the pain. They have no club. They have no allegiance. They just float from match to match, enjoying the spectacle. They can watch a 95th minute Derby Day equaliser, the kind of goal that has caused actual heart attacks in the home end, and they will just nod and say, "Wow, what a finish. Great drama." Great drama? This isn't drama, you psychopath. This is life and death. The journeyman is free. They can watch any game, any time, from any league. El Clasico? Sure. The League 2 playoff final? Why not? A random 3 p.m. kickoff between two mid-table Bundesliga sides. Heard they play great attacking football. They have no agenda. They can appreciate a perfectly executed defensive block and a 30-yard volley. They can praise a rival player without feeling like they've swallowed acid. This fan is often a tactician who retired, a nostalgist who gave up, or a conspiracy theorist who finally found peace. They've seen it all, and they've decided to simply enjoy the ride. They're well rested, they're happy, they have healthy relationships, they don't get angry at referees. They are in every conceivable way the opposite of a true football fan. We should pity them for what they're missing. Or maybe, just maybe, they're the only ones who've actually figured it all out. 8. The Armchair Scout. He'd be perfect for us. This fan's real season isn't August to May, it's June 1st to August 31st, the transfer window. The Armchair Scout lives on a diet of YouTube compilations, set to terrible EDM music, transfer-marked player valuations, and cryptic tweets from Tier 1 journalists. They are an expert on players they have never ever seen play a full 90-minute game, but they have seen a 4-minute highlight reel of a 17-year-old left-back from the Eredivisie, and they are here to tell you with absolute certainty that he is the next Alphonso Davies, and it's criminal that the club isn't signing him. This fan doesn't just suggest players, they demand them. They have a shortlist that they've been compiling all year. It's full of names you can't pronounce from leagues you didn't know existed. "We must get Cone," they'll type furiously. "Cone who?" you'll ask. "Mamadou Cone, from the Finnish 2nd Division. He's got 14 goals, he's 6'4", and his contract is up in 6 months. It's a no-brainer. The board is asleep. When the club signs an actual established international star, the Armchair Scout is the first to complain. Why did we spend 60 metres on him? We could have gotten 3 prospects from the Argentinian top flight for half that. He has no sell-on value. To them, potential is always better than proven quality. They are addicted to the idea of a player, the thrilling mystery of a wonder kid. They are the ultimate hipster, but for human beings. The moment one of their hidden gems actually gets a big move and becomes famous, like a Moises Caicedo or a Kavica Kvaratskhelia, they're instantly over it. Yeah, he's okay, they'll sniff, but he's too mainstream now. You should see this new kid at Red Bull Salzburg. 9. The Pessimist. Though we're definitely bottling this. You could be 3-0 up in the 89th minute. The ball is at the opponent's corner flag. Your team has just won a throw-in. And the Pessimist will turn to you, with a face full of genuine dread, and whisper, "It's not over. We could still bottle this." This fan is not a fan. They're a professional mourner just waiting for the funeral to start. They have been hurt. They have been broken. Perhaps it was a last-minute relegation in 1993. Maybe it was a 4-0 Champions League lead evaporating in 2018. Whatever the trauma, it has scarred them permanently. They no longer see football as a source of joy. They see it as an elaborate 11-month-long machine designed to find new and more creative ways to humiliate them. Good form is terrifying to the Pessimist. A 5-game winning streak isn't momentum, it's a setup. It's building our hopes up just to crush us. They are the living embodiment of "it's the hope that kills you." So they have killed hope. They are the anti-supporter. They don't sing, they sigh. They don't cheer for a goal. They just check their watch and say, "Right, 20 minutes to hang on." They are the first to say, "I told you so," when the inevitable equaliser flies in. In fact, you suspect they are happier when they lose, because at least the world makes sense again. A win just leaves them confused and anxious. Watching a game with them is like watching a horror movie with someone who has already seen it, and is just pointing out all the jump scares before they happen. He's going to miss this penalty. This defender is a walking red card. The sub is coming on too late. And the worst part, just like the Tactician, they are almost always right. 10. The scapegoat specialist. He's the problem. This fan isn't a pessimist about the whole team. In fact, they think the team is almost perfect. They've got a world-class keeper, the best midfield in the league, and a genius manager. There's just one problem, one single, solitary, infuriating problem, and it's currently playing at left back. Or it's the holding midfielder, or the $80 million striker. Meet the scapegoat specialist. This fan has channeled the entire, complex, multifaceted disappointment of supporting a football club and focused it, like a laser, onto one player. This player is not just bad, he is a fraud, a liar, a thief, stealing a living, of course. He is the root cause of every single problem. Did the team lose 3-0? It's because the scapegoat destroyed the dressing room atmosphere and his negative energy spread to the other players. Did the keeper drop a cross? It's because he was unsettled by the scapegoat's poor positional play 80 yards away. This fan watches the game with a unique, painful bias. They don't celebrate goals, they celebrate the moment their scapegoat gets subbed off. They spend 90 minutes willing him to make a mistake just so they can turn to their friends, who are so tired of this, and scream, "See! What did I tell you? He's done it again!" The stats don't matter. The manager's opinion doesn't matter. The fact that the player might actually be perfectly decent doesn't matter. This fan has created a villain, and they will stick to their story until the bitter end. The greatest day of their season isn't winning a cup. It's the day their scapegoat is finally sold to another club, at which point they are immediately blissfully happy, until about week 3 of the new season, when they'll quietly select their next target. So, which one are you? Are you the number-crunching stato, the haunted pessimist, or the blissfully ignorant journeyman? Go on, tell yourself you're the normal one. Tell yourself you're just passionate. We see you. We see you checking your phone for a score you already know, just in case it's changed. We see you re-watching that VAR decision for the 40th time. You're one of us, and there is no cure. So go ahead and lie about which one you are in the comments. Subscribe for more existential dread.